Along Greenwood Avenue in Tulsa, marchers perform what's called a masquerade dance, an African ritual that's meant to connect the past to the present while ensuring blessings for the future. This Greenwood neighborhood was once very blessed.
We from Atlanta, Georgia. We've been hearing about what y'all was trying to do down here, and we just wanted to be a part of it.
Greenwood Avenue, once known as Black Wall Street, was paved, some said, with new black gold. But this prosperous area turned to ashes when a white mob burned down Greenwood in 1921. It never fully recovered.
Yeah, there's a huge racial wealth gap.
VENITA Cooper sells apparel and art in Greenwood, mostly, she says, to white customers.
You know, for sure there's more wealth concentrated in the white community in Tulsa.
It's an issue nationally. A 2019 U.S. Federal Reserve survey found black families had less than 15% the average wealth of white families. At the same time, a 2020 Citigroup study determined that $13 trillion in business revenue never flowed into the economy over the past 2 decades because black entrepreneurs couldn't get bank loans.
You're not given the same amount of latitude in operating capital that, and many times, many of your white counterparts receive. They're already starting out with one hand tied behind their back.
Addressing those disparities is the impetus behind Economic Empowerment Day, a conference that's being held in conjunction with the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre commemoration. The aim is to help individuals and families build financial freedom and generational wealth and guide entrepreneurs like LAVERA Wilson, whose online marketplace sells personal care products tailored to women of color.
We really haven't been able to access the resources that we need to really expand and really grow.
She says it's hard these days for black-owned startups to scale up their businesses. One big problem, investors, primarily white, tend to invest in white-owned companies.
So until there's a major shift, which we do see happening with the money managers being non-white males, that's when we really will see that more capital is moving to black-led companies.
Some argue financial literacy in the African American community is also lacking. Taylor wonders whether there's a real appetite for narrowing the racial wealth gap.
It's not a secret. Anyone can have these symposiums. They happen all the time, and it's always the same conversation, like, oh, we should do this, this, this.
Some believe that black businesses are starting to get more support.
In the past year, we've seen that a lot, and I hope it continues, and we should have always done that.
What better place to catapult racial wealth change than what some term ground zero for race relations, Greenwood.
Ground zero for what can happen when black entrepreneurship is allowed to thrive without any hindrances. There is a market there for that. It was here 100 years ago, and we believe that it can happen again.
Not everything that is faced can be changed, wrote the late African-American author James Baldwin, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. When it comes to this issue, that may be especially true today. Hendrik, Sybrandy, CGTN, Tulsa.